You've spent money on beautiful hydrangea plants, you've given them water and care, and yet nothing happens. Your friend's hydrangeas explode with color. Your neighbor's garden looks magazine perfect, but yours, struggling, sad, barely blooming. Here's what nobody tells you. Most people are making simple mistakes that completely ruin their hydrangeas. And the worst part, these mistakes are totally fixable. I'm Sam from Seniors Gardening Advice, and I'm about to show you exactly what's going wrong in your garden and how to turn it around. If you love growing beautiful plants and want your hydrangeas to finally thrive the way they should, stick around. Before we jump in, if you're serious about having the most gorgeous garden in your neighborhood, please hit that subscribe button. We release gardening tips every single week designed specifically for people like you. Plus, tap that like button if hydrangeas are your favorite plant. Let me know down in the comments below which hydrangea color you're growing.
Section 1. Understanding why hydrangeas matter. Hydrangea plants have become one of the most beloved choices for American gardens. Walk down any street in spring and summer, and you'll see them everywhere. Those big, puffy flower heads in blues, pinks, and whites. The reason? They're genuinely not that hard to grow. But here's the thing. Not that hard doesn't mean impossible to kill. A lot of gardeners treat hydrangeas like they're unkillable, but they're actually more sensitive than people realize. They need specific conditions to do well. They need the right soil. They need the right amount of light. They need the right amount of water. Get any of these factors wrong, and your hydrangea will show you immediately. When hydrangeas don't get what they need, the problem starts showing up fast. Your leaves wilt. Your flowers never appear. Your plant stays small and weak. Sometimes it just slowly dies, and you're left wondering what you did wrong. The good news? Once you know what these mistakes are, you can avoid them completely. And if you're already making some of these mistakes, you can fix them starting today. Share this video with someone in your family who's struggling with their hydrangeas. Seriously, I bet you know someone whose hydrangea isn't doing well. Send it to them right now.
Mistake number 1, the light problem, getting sunshine wrong. This is where most people get it wrong from day one. Hydrangeas don't want full sun. That's the first thing you need to understand. They're not like tomatoes or roses that just love being in direct sunlight all day long. Hydrangeas actually prefer partial shade. Think about where they grow naturally. They like dappled light, filtered shade, and protection from intense rays. Now, there are some exceptions. Certain types, like panicle hydrangeas, can handle deeper shade situations. But even those have limits. And for most regular hydrangeas, full sun is basically a death sentence, especially as the day goes on. Here's what happens in full sun. The afternoon heat beats down on your plant. The leaves dry out. The flowers fade and become less vibrant. The plant gets stressed. It might not even bloom at all because it's using all its energy just trying to survive the heat instead of making flowers. The worst spot? West-facing areas. These locations get hammered by the hottest part of the afternoon sun. If your hydrangea is in a west-facing spot, you're basically asking for trouble. That's where the sun's strongest rays hit, and your plant just can't handle it. The solution is simple. Find a spot that gets partial shade. Morning sun is great. Afternoon shade is essential. If you can position your hydrangea so it gets sunlight in the morning and shade by afternoon, you've just solved one major problem. You might need to move your plant. Yes, you can do that. Dig it up carefully, find a better location, and replant it. Your hydrangea will forgive you, and it will reward you with better growth and more flowers. Drop a comment below and tell me, where is your hydrangea planted right now? Morning sun or afternoon sun? I read every comment and love hearing from you.
Mistake number 2, pruning at the wrong time. Cutting correctly matters. Pruning might be the most confusing part of hydrangea care, and I understand why. The rules are different depending on what type of hydrangea you have. Let me explain it simply. There are two kinds of hydrangeas when it comes to when they bloom. There are new wood hydrangeas and old wood hydrangeas. This is super important. For new wood hydrangeas, panicle hydrangeas, and smooth hydrangeas, these types bloom on branches that are new, branches that grow this year. That means you can prune them more aggressively. These hydrangeas should be pruned either in late fall, after they've gone dormant, or very early in spring before the new buds start forming. The key is timing. If you wait too late into spring, you risk cutting off flower buds that have already formed. This is a huge mistake because you'll end up with fewer flowers that season. For old wood hydrangeas, the big leaf hydrangea types, these are trickier. These hydrangeas bloom on branches that grew last year, so if you cut those branches, you're cutting off next year's flowers. It's that simple. If you have an old wood type, the best time to prune is immediately after the flowers finish blooming. Since many old wood hydrangeas bloom late into the year, that window is short. You might only have a few weeks to get your pruning done before the plant goes dormant for winter. If you miss that window, and honestly a lot of people do, then don't panic. Just wait. Wait until spring when you can see which branches are dead and which are alive. Only cut the dead branches. Leave the living ones alone. They're probably making next year's flowers. Here's the most important rule. Don't prune hydrangeas aggressively unless you're absolutely sure what type you have. When in doubt, cut less. Your plant will thank you. This is getting great information. If you're learning something new today, please share this video. Send it to your gardening friends. Let's help everyone grow better hydrangeas.
Mistake number 3, planting near the wrong neighbors. You might not know this, but some plants are toxic to hydrangeas. They literally release poison into the soil that stops hydrangeas from growing properly. Black walnut trees are the worst. If you have a black walnut tree anywhere near your hydrangea, the walnut roots are probably sending chemicals into the soil that are stunting your plant's growth. It's like slow poisoning. But it's not just walnuts. Sunflowers do this too. So does goldenrod and forsythia bushes. These plants all release chemicals into the soil that other plants, especially hydrangeas, really don't like. The solution? Don't plant your hydrangeas near these plants. Simple as that. If you already have a hydrangea planted next to one of these problem plants, you have options. You can move the hydrangea to a different location, you can remove the other plant, or if you really love both plants, you can create a barrier between them. Use landscape fabric or find a way to separate the root zones. This is one of those mistakes that a lot of people don't even realize they're making. You plant something pretty and you don't understand why your hydrangea isn't thriving. Then one day you learn about these chemicals and everything makes sense. Comment below. Do you have any of these problem plants in your garden? Black walnut? Goldenrod? Let me know what you've got growing.
Mistake number 4, watering incorrectly, getting the balance right. Watering seems simple, right? You just pour water on the plant. But with hydrangeas, there's actually a balance you need to hit. Your hydrangea wants about 1 inch of water per week. That could come from rain, or it could come from you watering it yourself. But here's the catch. The water needs to drain properly. It can't just sit there in the soil. This is where a lot of people mess up. They water their hydrangea, and the water just sits in the soil. The roots get soggy. The soil stays wet all the time. This creates the perfect conditions for root rot, which basically kills your plant from the ground up. Think of it this way. Your hydrangea's roots need air. They need to breathe. If the soil is soggy all the time, the roots can't get any air and they start to rot. Dead roots mean a dying plant. On the flip side, if you don't give your hydrangea enough water, the opposite problem happens. The leaves start to wilt. The flowers droop. Eventually, if it stays dry long enough, the plant will die from dehydration. So you're looking for the middle ground. The soil should be moist, but not wet. Moist. That's the magic word. How do you check? Stick your finger into the soil. Go about 2 inches down. If it feels wet and muddy, you're watering too much. If it feels dry, you need more water. If it feels like a squeezed-out sponge, moist but not dripping, You've got it just right. And here's something else. Where you water matters. Water at the base of the plant, not on the leaves. Wet leaves can develop diseases. Wet soil at the roots is what you want. Do you have a watering system set up, or do you water by hand? Tell me in the comments. I'm curious how everyone is managing their watering.
Mistake number 5. Cramming plants together. Spacing is crucial. This is a mistake I see all the time in people's gardens. They get excited about hydrangeas, they buy multiple plants, and then they plant them right next to each other because they want an instant look of fullness. Here's the problem. Hydrangeas need space, a lot of space. Different varieties get different sizes. Some stay relatively small, maybe 3 or 4 feet wide. Others get huge, 6, 7, even 8 feet wide or more. If you don't know the mature size of your specific variety, you're probably planting too close together. When hydrangeas are crammed together, several bad things happen. First, they can't get enough nutrients from the soil. The roots are competing with each other. Second, the air doesn't circulate well between plants. This creates a humid environment where diseases love to grow. You end up with fungal problems, mold, and other issues. Before you plant, do a little homework. Look up your specific hydrangea variety, find out how big it's going to get, then space accordingly. If you're worried about gaps while you're waiting for your hydrangeas to fill in, and honestly, young plants do look small and lonely, plant some annuals in the gaps. Annuals give you color and fullness while your hydrangeas are growing. They only last one season, so they won't compete for space long term, and they'll fill in those bare spots. This is really about patience and planning. Good spacing now means healthy, beautiful hydrangeas later. If you're planning a new garden bed with hydrangeas, share your plans in the comments. Show us your design ideas. We love seeing what you're working on.
Mistake number 6, ignoring soil quality. The foundation matters. Hydrangeas aren't extremely picky about soil, but they do have preferences. They like rich, loamy soil. They like soil that's full of organic matter. A lot of people make this mistake. They only amend the soil in the hole where they're planting. They dig a hole, throw in some compost, mix it up, and plant their hydrangea. That's not enough. Here's why. The hydrangea's roots are going to spread out beyond that hole. They're going to grow into the surrounding soil. If the surrounding soil is poor quality, if it's compacted clay or sandy soil with no nutrients, then your plant's roots are going to have a hard time. The plant won't be able to get the nutrients it needs even though you amended that original hole. The better approach is to amend a larger area. Not just the hole, but a circle around the hole, maybe 3 or 4 feet in diameter. Mix compost into this bigger area. Mix in other organic matter. Loosen up the soil. Give your hydrangea's roots plenty of good soil to spread into. You're basically creating a welcoming environment for the roots to explore and grow. More good soil means more room for roots to grow, which means a stronger, healthier plant. If you're in an area with really poor soil quality, this becomes even more important. Take the time to do it right. Have you had to amend your soil before planting hydrangeas? What did you add? Share your soil secrets in the comments below.
Mistake number 7. Forgetting winter protection. Cold damage is real. If you live somewhere with cold winters, this mistake can completely destroy your hydrangea. Here's what happens. Your hydrangea grows all summer. It looks beautiful. Then fall comes. Temperature drops. Winter arrives, and your plant gets damaged by the cold. Sometimes the damage is minor. Sometimes it's catastrophic. Your plant dies completely. The solution is winter protection, and it's not complicated. First, give your hydrangea a deep watering before the last big freeze. This hydration helps the plant prepare for winter stress. It's like giving it a final drink before the cold hits. Second, cover the root zone with a good layer of compost and mulch. This insulation protects the roots from extreme cold. It's like tucking the plant in with a blanket. The mulch keeps the soil from freezing solid, which protects those tender roots. For hydrangeas in containers, you might need to take additional steps. Container plants get colder faster than plants in the ground because the soil volume is smaller. There's less soil to insulate the roots. In harsh winter areas, you might need to move container hydrangeas into a garage or basement for the winter, somewhere cool but protected from the absolute coldest temperatures. Or position those containers in sheltered areas, places where they're protected from the harshest winds. This isn't complicated stuff. It's just about being proactive and protecting your investment.
Putting it all together, your hydrangea success plan. So here's what we've covered. Light, partial shade is best. Protect from west-facing sun. Pruning, know your hydrangea type. Time your pruning correctly. Neighbors, avoid planting near walnut, sunflower, goldenrod, and forsythia. Water, 1 inch per week, but make sure it drains. Moist, not soggy. Spacing, give plants room to grow to their full size. Soil, amend a larger area, not just the whole. Winter, protect with mulch and water deeply before freeze. If you get these 7 things right, your hydrangeas are going to thrive. They're going to bloom. They're going to look amazing. You're going to walk out into your garden and feel proud of what you've created. Growing beautiful hydrangeas isn't complicated when you know what mistakes to avoid. You don't need expensive fertilizers or fancy equipment. You just need to understand what these plants need and give it to them. I know this is a lot of information, but here's my advice. Pick 1 or 2 of these mistakes that you think might be affecting your garden right now. Fix those first, then move on to the others. Small improvements add up to big results. Your hydrangeas can be just as beautiful as anyone else's. They can be showstoppers in your garden. You just need to know what to do, and now you do. If this helped you, if you're now feeling confident about growing gorgeous hydrangeas, please do these 3 things for me. First, hit that subscribe button. We post new gardening tips every single week. Don't miss them. Second, like this video. It helps other people find it, which means we can help more gardeners grow better plants. Third, comment below. Tell me which mistake you've been making. Tell me which fix you're going to try first. Are you going to check your plant's location? Are you going to adjust your watering? Let me know. I read every single comment and I want to hear from you. And please share this video with your friends and family who love gardening. Send it to that one neighbor whose hydrangeas always look perfect. Maybe they'll pick up a tip from this too. Thank you for watching Seniors Gardening Advice. I'm Sam, and I'll see you in the next video. Now get out there and grow those beautiful hydrangeas.